All right, so this is gonna be a React video. If you've been watching some of my live streams or some of the stuff I've talked about, I have a love-hate relationship with Star Citizen. Mostly hate of recently. This is my favorite ship. This is the only thing that's keeping me interested in the game. I've been waiting for this ship for a very, very long time. This was a ship that I've, pretty much one of the reasons why I got the game. And I bought this ship in 2018 for like $230. And I've been waiting for this forever. In 2016, they made it seem as though, or 2018, I'm sorry. We'll give them a little bit of a break on that. It was 2018, and they made it seem like, oh, it's right around the corner. The ship is done. It'll be right out. And that is CIG's MO. They are pretty much charlatans. Their marketing department is all hype and FOMO and artificial scarcity, and they're just a really scummy, terrible company. Of course, the workers are fine. The workers are the workers. It's the management and the marketing, and the game company is pretty scummy. And so in 2018, I bought this ship with hopes that it was right around the corner, as they implied it would to be. And then, of course, oh, lo and behold, after the sale is done, nope, sorry, we're going to have to delay the ship. And so, they made it out as though this ship was going to be out or nearly out in 2018. Here we are 5 years later, and it is finally coming out. Not finished, of course, but it's finally out. So I watched another React video on this trailer. This is the trailer for the ship coming out to get people to buy it. And then, so let's react to it, and we'll see my favorite ship and CIG's lies. So my understanding is this window is not really working yet. So this is supposed to be in the living quarters upstairs, and this is the extendable center section that holds the cargo. As you can see, one out here, and this window is broken. So right there, unless they get that fixed, that's not really great advertising either. So again, this is some deceptive stuff going on. I understand all game companies do this to a certain extent, but remember, we need to remember that this was the game that was supposed to be out in 2016, then 17, then 18, and then, oh, we don't say when questions anymore, and so, this game is very, 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 very late. They set their own deadlines, we didn't, and I understand, all of these companies make these things a little bit rosy, but we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 ships in view at least, and there's no way this happens in game currently. So again, they're representing that this basic, barely a tech demo is at this level with this commercial. So my current understanding is that this is one of the I forget what this is called, but this is their hope, is that this ship will be able to load the Hull C. This is currently not how it's going to work. It's going to be a much more simplified version, but are they happy to advertise that this is how it's going to be loaded, implying that this is how it currently is being loaded? Yep, of course they are. Argo Mole, I think. No, not the Mole. It's Argo something. I can't remember what it is. So my understanding, too, is the way that they're currently going to do this is you're not going to dock and have these containers put on. You're going to move your ship out to a designated location. Then the containers will automatically just appear on there. It's understandable to a certain extent to get these mechanics working. But again, this game is, this game was supposed to be out in 2016. So... we're talking 7 years late, and this ship again was supposed to be out in 2018, and we're here 5 years later, and it's finally coming out without these functionalities in it. Yet they are happy to imply that this is the current state of the game. There was no disclaimer saying not current state of the game. This is all, fantasy right here. Again, look at all those spaceships. You can't have any of those spaceships. That would destroy the server. Is this Pyro? They've been teasing this place for the last, like, 6 years. Not sure if it is or not, but... No way in hell any of this is possible. You know, this ship, not in game. I think that's a javelin. That's not a game. Not in 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 game. I think some of these little ones might be in game, but none of that's in game. So one of the big criticisms about some of these MISC ships, and actually one of the reasons I like them, is people will say, oh, they have a terrible view, they have a letter slot. You know, I was a professional airline pilot. This is a better view than we have ever got in any sort of commercial aircraft. You don't need it. You're going from point A to point B. You're a cargo hauler. You're hauling cargo. You don't need this big, expansive bubble canopy. You're not a fighter pilot. Also, one of my current gripes with, again, my favorite ship here is, if you were going to be doing the ship in real life, this would be kind of like a tractor trailer type of situation where you're moving cargo. You imagine, you know, the scale gets bigger as we start traveling the stars or whatever. You know, they mix up too much movie nonsense in this. I know Chris Roberts is a wannabe movie director, but like having, you know, this this captain seat, I think is silly. You know, we have a crew of 3 in the bridge, and then we have an engineer. It's a cargo ship. You know, and I understand you have like large container ships that move, you know, go across the sea with, you know, dozens of people on them. But, you know, there's the future, a lot of the automation. But we also need to understand the game perspective is you're going to likely still have one person. And, you know, I know Chris Roberts has this fantasy that you're going to have 4 of your friends who are going to want to go jump on a Hull C and go haul cargo. Yay. How are you getting 3 friends to sit around and do nothing? Most of this is going to be, okay, I'm going to fly to the cargo terminal. I'm going to sit and wait for my cargo to be loaded. I'm going to then fly to the next cargo terminal, wait for my cargo to be unloaded. Yay, profit. All right, that tends to be the cargo loop. You know, if we think of games like Euro Truck Simulator, American Truck Simulator, those kind of games appeal to people like me who like simulators and enjoy that cargo element of it. And for example, like I love to sit and watch a YouTube video while I'm flying or, you know, hauling cargo. I used to do it in Elite all the time. That's a one-man job. You know, to put you know, 3-person crew in here, I think is insanity. To put an engineer in there is insanity. You know, I think so much of this is cartoony fantasy. I think they could have called on some of us pilots to ask us, you know, some questions about how to get a cockpit right. You know, and so I think this crew is enormous. I think a 2-person crew max. I think, you know, pilot flying, pilot not flying, 1 person doubling as an engineer. The captain seat's silly to me. This you know, we'll go over like some of the interior in another video when I finally get in my ship. But this is just like an oversized bridge for no reason. Like, what's the captain gonna do here? Like, okay, yay, go straight line to point B from point A. And then what are these guys doing? Okay, autopilot's on. We're going from point A to point B. Okay, yay. The 3 of us are sitting here doing nothing. You know, so I think, you know, of course in games you need to reduce the crew sizes because you're not going to get 3 of your friends to sit here and do nothing. You know, for example, like if you have a warship, you might be able to get 3 people to sit in there and man some guns. And there are guns on this, but you know, it's going to be hard. You're going to be hard pressed to go do cargo trading with, you know, 3 friends. What the hell are they going to do? Sit there and do nothing. So I just think some of the layout of this is pretty silly. Again, a spaceport that has, you know, none of this life in the real game. You know, there's some cool stuff here. I can't remember the name of the ship, but there's a Hull A. I've yet to even be in the Hull A. There is a, what is that? I can't remember the name of it. But I used to like that brand, but I don't really care for them anymore. But MISC has always been my brand. I really like MISC. There's a Caterpillar. That's in game. been in game for a while. I think the game's super cool and it has a lot of potential. Like these, the larger containers they were talking about, which makes sense. These are like intermodal containers you'd have IRL, so that's reasonable. Expand your cargo empire. Did they actually add? Are they actually adding cargo in, or is it still just trading? There's a difference between cargo and trading. So, pretty much standard CIG. The thing they do best is selling hope streams and JPEGs. I would love to be positive in this game, but they've just let us down or let some of us down for so long. And I hate to be negative, but I'm gonna review some of the interior of the Hull C. My background, I was an airline pilot, so I want to review the Hull C from the perspective of a pilot who would actually be operating the craft. So, if I had been burned 900 times before by CIG, I would be excited by that. But I just feel like, oh, look at all those lies they're telling me there. And I feel bad for the people who are going to go out there. The ship is currently $500. I feel bad for the people who are going to look at that trailer, think most or any of that is possible currently, and go spend $500 just to be let down. So I would say take this with or any sort of marketing from CIG with a big grain of salt. This is not the current state of the game. I haven't played in a while. I'm going to start playing again a little bit just to try to, play with my favorite ship, which I've been waiting for many years. Been waiting for at least 5 years here. And, so I'll be doing a full review when that comes out of the ship itself. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.